On the program tomorrow, the economists are split on whether another interest rate rise is necessary. We explore the arguments for and against. And as the Marine Expo gets underway in Auckland, we find out how the industry is faring. Join me 6:30 tomorrow morning for ASB Business.
Well, it wowed audiences in Wellington, won the Chapman Tripp Award for Outstanding Play of the Year, and tonight has been performed in front of an audience which included Prince Charles. New Sila is Samoan for New Zealand, and it's about the relationship between two cultures and, in particular, two children.
If you want people to laugh...
Ah, Rodney King! Rodney King!
Hire this man.
Rodney, did you get that?
One of the naked Samoans, David Fane also voices multiple characters in the hugely successful Brotown. And along with Damon Andrews, 30 or so characters in potentially the best play you'll see this year.
You know, I always reckon that actors who are mates off stage and really close off stage do a better job on stage together, just because they've got stuff that you can't learn in rehearsal, you know, just the ease of understanding.
Written by Oscar and Dave Armstrong and set over 40 years in the increasingly gentrified central suburbs, the play takes their own experiences of racism growing up and exposes attitudes best forgotten.
Like, there were parts of that play, like the scene where Yanni, the character Yanni, gets pulled up by the police and has a ready prepared laminated sheet of answers. You know, that's what I did when I had this Valiant.
And for this play, two heads were definitely better than one.
But it was really interesting working with Dave and hearing like him talk about his relationship with his mate from a Palangi perspective, and it just made me think back to my mates when I was at primary, and you know, and so it was almost like for the first time I got to see how odd it was for them.
Ioane really enjoyed the first movement.
Hey, hey!
And he knew just what to do at the end of the second movement. But at the end of the third movement, an old lady behind us started to clap.
Shut up! You don't clap until after the pesto.
Man, New Zealand needs to tell New Zealand stories, because, I mean, if we don't celebrate ourselves, I mean, how the f are we going to market ourselves further around the world, you know? If we're always going to take it from someone else. I'm not going to eat someone else's larder. I want to eat from this larder, you know?
The question of how racially tolerant New Zealand has been is, you know, something as a brown person you kind of experience every day, and I think for the most part we are. I mean, we're streets ahead of Australia, but that's not hard.
You'll note Oscar said, for the most part.
We were living in Christchurch, and these skinheads went zooming past us in a pink Ford Escort once and screamed out, "Niggers!" out the window. It's me, Oscar and Dave walking down the road. And we just fell over laughing. I just couldn't believe it.
A lot of stories that try and imbue messages would be boring without comedy. You know, just as a style, it's like George Bernard Shaw said, you know, the best way to tell people the truth is to make them laugh and slip it in while their mouths are open. And I think that's really true.
Q Sunday 1 News.
Such a talent.
Oh, isn't he, though?
Great.
Let's have a look now at what will be in your morning papers. And the New Zealand Herald leads with the deaths of the 3 climbers on Aoraki Mount Cook. And the husband of the Auckland woman kidnapped this week has spoken out. He says he can't think of any reason why his wife would be targeted.
The Dominion Post leads with cricketer Daryl Tuffy's career on a knife edge after 2 British tourists allegedly filmed him having sex with a New Zealand woman. And Prime bosses are in talks overseas this week to poach one of TVNZ's most treasured assets, Coronation Street.
The press leads with the deaths of the 3 climbers on Mount Cook, and the government may change home detention laws after claims that a Christchurch repeat sex offender was released into the care of a home for vulnerable women.
The ODT leads with the Dunedin City Councillor claiming he's been fobbed off and lied to after trying to gather information on Carisbrook Stadium. And a ramp attached to a redeveloped St Clair wall has succumbed to stormy seas for the 2nd time in 3 months.
Those are your papers. Here's Karen with the weather.
Hi there, it's promising to be a nippy day tomorrow for the south with snow, would you believe it, down to 900 metres. And here's the southerly change responsible for that. Lots of muddy looking cloud and showers for Westland, Southland and Otago. Fiordland gets the thunder. By afternoon, the frontal cloud tracks further north, leaving cold air in its wake. Up in the North Island, it is lovely in the east. Showers prevail in the west from Waikato to Wellington with some rain over the Tararuas. Expect the northwesterly wind going to cause a little bit of havoc down here around the capital. Now, the cold southwest change brings showers to Dunedin, Invercargill and Queenstown. Timaru gets it a little bit later on, and Christchurch, your day's fine until the rain creeps in around evening. Like the others, the southwest change is to blame. And Wellington, plan your day around a lot of wind, gusts up to 100 kilometres an hour. Showers become more frequent in Levin and Kapiti, occasional rain for the others, and it is fine in Napier, Hastings and Gisborne, occasional showers and strong winds for the rest. Cloudy with showers in Rotorua, Hamilton and Tokoroa. Whakatane, you're looking quite dry tomorrow. And up the top, the nor'wester freshens. A few afternoon showers too are on the cards for Auckland. Now back here on Friday, the showers in the north are going to be clearing to become mostly fine. Just the odd shower right down south. And on Saturday, it is fine for most places, but Northland and the deepest south, again, get showers. Have a great night.
It is a time and space puzzle that Doctor Who would be proud of. The iconic show is returning to TV screens after a 15-year hiatus, but the BBC's launched an investigation into how the latest interdimensional Time Lord got on the internet before making his small screen debut.
I'm the Doctor, by the way. What's your name?
Rose.
Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
After 15 years away from the screens, Doctor Who is back. And the effects are better, and the character's been updated. But it has upset some die-hard fans who've managed to see the first episode after it was illegally posted on the web.
There's been a couple of early reviews, and they've attacked us. And it's painful. You accept it, you take it on the chin. But when you've worked as hard as we have, with so much love, you hope you'll get some of it back.
Doctor Who excites fierce passions. Generations of children have been excited and terrified by the programme. For some, it's been a lifelong love, and they were dismayed when the BBC dropped the series in the 1980s.
It all stems from childhood, really. I can remember, like most kids of my generation, hiding behind the settee, particularly when these guys came on the screen, and also the Cybermen. It's something that you never forget.
And as any fan would know, this is the door to the TARDIS. Indeed, here in Wales, they're organising a special advanced screening so that people can see what the new Doctor Who is really like. Because while this may have been terrifying 30 years ago, it's thought today's children are a bit more sophisticated, so a difficult balancing act, creating a new, modern Doctor Who for today's children, but still appealing to those who were first terrified more than 30 years ago.
Scariest show on television, used to watch it from behind the couch.
I'm still terrified looking at it. Go Billy. Anyway, thank you for watching.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night.
Today is a shocker. It's a total shocker, but it's interesting. Checks and balances on stories start really at the beginning of the day when the story is first assigned. It does go all the way to the penta. Is it a valid story? At 7 minutes, oh, lifetime. It does get a bit nerve-wracking. A couple of weeks ago, the whole top section of the bulletin wasn't there at 30 seconds